Testing, testing. Okay. Mic audio works and everything's fine, it seems. It's working. Okay. I guess it's working. Everything's working. So I'm doing a Q&A stream. If anybody has questions or whatever, we can talk. Someone says based. Yeah. Based and a little bit red pilled. Not fully red pilled though. Why am I the goat? Well, I appreciate you calling me the goat. I don't think I'm the goat. Um, Trying to get better, showing a little humility here, a little class. I don't know. I just try and make good videos. I try and top myself every time I make a video. That's important to me, you know. Yeah. Thank you. Someone says that they love my videos. Thank you. Thank you. Uh, Maybe I should do something while people are coming into the stream. What am I planning on working on next? Yeah, okay, I'll talk about that. This guy named Red Light Robin Hood, who he destroyed red light cameras basically because he says that they're a scam. There is a lot of evidence that um, a lot of them are scams between corporation and between government, uh, and basically it's just a way to make money. And the corporations actually charge the government if they don't meet a certain quota. So this guy went out and he destroyed these cameras. He vandalized them as an act of civil disobedience, and then he went on the news to announce that what he did. So that's what I'm working on right now. Have I ever tried Percocets? No. Uh, had me hooked with the McAfee videos. Have you seen the how to uninstall McAfee video? Yeah, yeah. That's a doozy. Actually, McAfee just got arrested in Spain, and he's being indicted. Actually, you know what? That's something interesting to look up right now on the stream because I haven't actually looked into McAfee's latest developments in a while. So let's just go through the news of John McAfee and what he's been up to. Let's do that. Let's do like a little bit of a research stream. So John McAfee arrested in Spain, and U.S. Seeks extradition. Okay, so U.S. authorities accused the former antivirus and impresario of evading taxes and said that his extradition to American soil was pending. Okay, John David McAfee, an antivirus software pioneer who fled police in 2012 ahead of a murder investigation there. That's the Greg Paul murder, which I talk about in my series, has been arrested in Spain on tax evasion charges, the U.S. Justice Department said on Monday. Mr. McAfee, 75, is a Silicon Valley legend who earned millions from the computer virus fighting software company that still bears his surname. In 2012, he disappeared from his home in Belize after the local police sought him for questioning over the death of his neighbor. He resurfaced in Guatemala City a few weeks later, then largely dropped out of the public eye for years, until 2016 when he tried to run as a libertarian candidate for president of the United States. The Justice Department said on Monday that Mr. McAfee's extradition from Spain to the United States was pending. It did not provide a timeline, and Mr. McAfee could not immediately be reached for comment on Tuesday. Okay, so it's pending still. When was this? Is there a date? October 6th. Okay, so is this the latest development? Anyway, I'm going to keep reading. Prosecutors accused Mr. McAfee of failing to file tax returns from 2014 to 2018, even as he earned millions from promoting cryptocurrencies. Now, this is the really funny thing about what McAfee actually did. He made a video basically saying that he's evading taxes, and he pretty much just called the SEC out and said, yeah, come after me. And then he went on a freedom boat. Actually, I kind of want to find that video now because it's actually hilarious. Especially, now that he's caught after he announced that. So I guess evading taxes? No, that's going to bring up John McAfee freedom boat. That might bring it up. Oh, here it is. So this is what he did January 23rd, 2019. So just listen to this. He pretty much just challenged the SEC. It says, yeah, come after me. What is this thing here? All right, I'm going to get rid of that. So let's watch this because this is actually hilarious considering what's happening now. Wait, can you guys hear that? I don't know if my desktop audio is coming through. Can you guys hear that? No sound? Okay, let me fix this real quick, and then I'm gonna play this because it is amazing considering what's going on now. All right, settings, audio. Okay, I think this is gonna work now. Let's see.
And making videos about.
No, hold on. Give me a sec. Properties. Okay, let's see.
About the fact that crypto.
Oh, there you go. Now it's working. Okay. So for people coming in, John McAfee, he was arrested in Spain not too long ago. I think it was almost 2 weeks ago now. And I'm showing people this video where he pretty much challenges the SEC to come after him. And he says, I don't pay taxes. I don't give a fuck. And he went on this boat. So let's watch this.
January 22nd, 2019. For 2 years, I've been speaking at conferences around the world and writing and making videos about the fact that cryptocurrency will at some point come head to head with governments. Why? Because when privacy coins are widely used, governments will no longer be able to collect income taxes, meaning governments will have to shrink and find new means. And I've always said this is a good thing. And I said we will at some point be at war. We are today at war. I have not paid taxes for 8 years. I've made no secret of it. I have not filed returns. Every year I tell the IRS I'm not filing a return. I have no intention of doing so. Come and find me. Not illegal. Today, January 22nd, the IRS has convened a grand jury in the state of Tennessee to charge myself, my wife, Mrs. McAfee, 4 of my campaign workers with unspecified IRS crimes of a felonious nature. Now, they want to silence me. I will not allow that. I am running my campaign in exile on this boat for the duration. I will not allow them to imprison me and shut my voice down, which they will do immediately. Why? I am a flight risk. Obviously, I am in flight. I will be putting videos out every day. Today, many to explain to you what has happened. Today, crypto community, we are at war. And I am on the front lines. And I'll be saying more later. Thank you.
Okay, so when I saw this video, this is right when I was making the 4th part. I didn't believe that the SEC was actually after him because John McAfee, he lies constantly and he writes his own mythology. So you hear here, I think it was around here where he says that they convened a grand jury to come after him because he hasn't paid taxes. I believed at the time he doesn't pay taxes. But I didn't believe that anybody was after him because he's constantly saying that people are after him. Maybe it's because he's lying or maybe it's because he's paranoid. But apparently this came true. So I'm just going to repeat this part because this is the best part.
We are today at war. I have not paid taxes for 8 years. I've made no secret of it. I have not filed returns. Every year I tell the IRS I'm not filing a return. I have no intention of doing so. Come and find me. Not illegal. Today, January 22nd.
Dude, there's like what's that music from from Curb Your Enthusiasm, where you play this and then you play the Curb music and then you see this headline, arrested in Spain for tax evasion. So where was I with this article? I'm gonna go back and get back to where we were with this. Yeah, so he resurfaced. So prosecutors accused Mr. McAfee of failing to file tax returns from 2014 to 2018, even as he earned millions from promoting cryptocurrencies, consulting work, speaking engagements, and selling the rights of his life story for a documentary, according to a June indictment in U.S. court in Tennessee that the Justice Department unsealed on Monday. The indictment said Mr. McAfee has evaded his tax liability by accepting payments through bank accounts and cryptocurrency exchange accounts that others set up. It also said he tried to dodge the Internal Revenue Service by dealing extensively in cryptocurrency and buying assets, including real estate and a yacht. So the yacht thing, in my video I said it was lent to him by a fan, and I think I read that somewhere, so I guess did he purchase that? Oh, so in other people's names. Okay. So it's like, it's a loophole. Yeah, he's crazy, but he's smart. he's nutty, but he's smart. You look 60 and 16 at the same time. Thank you. One time someone told me I look like a 12-year-old Jay-Z. That's like one of my favorite comments that I got. It kind of it caught me off guard. Okay, so let me keep reading this. Each count of tax evasion carries a maximum prison sentence of 5 years, and each count of failure to file carries a maximum 1-year sentence. A separate complaint filed by the Securities and Exchange Commission on Monday in the Southern District of New York against Mr. McAfee and his bodyguard, Jimmy Gale Watson, provided a few more details of the U.S. government's allegations. It said Mr. McAfee had made more than $23 million from 2017 to 2018 by recommending several initial coin offerings, a type of crowdfunding, to his hundreds of thousands of Twitter followers, playing the recommendations off as impartial investment advice without disclosing that he was being paid to do so. So this is a severe conflict of interest, and I don't know if they're going to mention this as well, but he was pretty much engaging in pump and dump schemes. So what he would do is he would go on Twitter, he would promote an obscure altcoin, and that after he put all of his money into it, and then as soon as it spikes, he drops out. So he just he gathers all the money when it's up there, right? But it's all artificially generated, So in other words, it's pretty much a scam. Let's see the comments. Am I Asian? No, I'm not Asian. Okay. Where was I? Okay, yeah, here. According to the 55-page complaint, Mr. McAfee was paid about half in Bitcoin and half in Ether, the virtual currency of the Ethereum network, a virtual cousin of Bitcoin, by the companies that were selling the securities. McAfee, the software company that bears his name, was once a household name in computer security software. Intel bought it in 2010 for $7.7 billion, but sold its majority stake 6 years later to the investment firm TPG. Mr. McAfee has not been associated with the company since the 1990s, and the recent indictment does not suggest that he has had any connection with it since. In 2000, Mr. McAfee, who was born in Britain and raised in Virginia, was at the center of a media frenzy surrounding the death in Belize of a neighbor and compatriot, Gregory Fall. Mr. McAfee disappeared after the police announced that he was a person of interest in the investigation, but continued to blog and tweet. He insulted the Belize government and police, and he said he fled because he feared for his life. Okay, so this article, I feel like it's just going to go over. Yeah, see, it's just going over the whole story again from 2012. I want to find something that's not from a week ago. So, what is the most recent development? So this is kind of how you do it. I'm gonna look first past 24 hours. Okay, set terms of IPO, hoping to raise it up to 682 million. Oh, this is the company. That's not him. Okay, so that's past 24 hours. Let's look the past week. The law comes from McAfee, Wired.com. Okay, let's see this one. Is this anything that we haven't seen so far? Let's see. Okay, a little bit of a opening. Still not talking about McAfee. Oh, here it is. So this is the actual article, huh? Oh, this is what we just read. Oh, okay. So this is just a. So I don't know what's going on with McAfee. Let's check out his Twitter. Let's check out what he's doing on Twitter. Because I saw some updates from his wife. Okay, so this is June 17th, so it's a long time ago. So this is his wife 13 hours ago. I know official McAfee is an extremely polarizing individual, despite what you think of him. He has paid more than his fair share in taxes and has contributed greatly to the betterment of America. At 75 years old, he does not deserve to be in prison. That is like such a bold-faced lie. Like, I mean, do we have to go back to this? Are you sure that he pays his taxes?
I have not paid taxes for 8 years. I've made no secret of it. I have not filed returns. Every year I tell the IRS I'm not filing a return.
Like, why lie about it? I feel like most people, they just expect like super wealthy guys to not pay their taxes. But then I guess she's doing it for like legal reasons, I suppose. He doesn't deserve to be in prison, but he should be forced to eat his shit. He lost a lot of people money. Yeah. Totally absurd for people to waste a choice. I don't know why he does shit like this. Like, not him paying taxes, but him like making that video and like pretty much challenging them to be like, come and find me. It's strange. I don't know. Okay. So this is from his wife. So I think she's taking, she took the reins of his social media recently. Hello again, everybody. I just wanted to thank everyone for the love and support you've shown John since the news of his recent arrest that took place Saturday, October 3rd in Barcelona, Spain, where he currently is in prison awaiting his extradition trial. His arrest was an eventuality that could not have been avoided given the fact that the U.S. government tried to illegally collect him when we were in the Bahamas, Cuba, and the Dominican Republic. If I remember correctly, like at least two of those had to do with weapons that he had on board. But anyway, it doesn't matter. The difference here is that they are now using the injustice system, which is good phrasing, as I like to call it, to try and collect and silence him. I wouldn't count John out just yet, because this has been a battle he has been preparing for probably all of his life. And it's at times like these where he shines his brightest. Also, knowing that he has the support of all of you means so much to us both during this difficult time. Since his arrest, our team of lawyers have been working on getting him released in the meantime, and hopefully I will be able to share some good news with regards to that this week after his court appearance. Thanks again, and whatever you do to show your continued support will be greatly appreciated. Okay. So, October 10th. I am charged with tax fraud, but my only crime is refusing to file returns. A misdemeanor. Okay. Fraud is lying on your tax returns. How could I have lied if I had said nothing? I speak out against corruption in the FBI, the CIA, and most other government agencies. That is my only real crime. Can someone explain that to me? Because I don't know. That sounds like. Okay, let me read the comments here. His wording is so purposely opaque that. Yeah, right? It's 300 IQ reasoning there. It is. It's really interesting. He's slippery. I feel like he would have made like such a good lawyer in another life. How can McAfee be so based? Okay. I'm looking forward to the Miles response video. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Miles Power response video as well. Okay. No, I mean I don't want the rich to go to jail for no reason. I just think it's really ironic that he made that video. I mean, do I have to play it again? This transpires. The irony I find funny. Otherwise, I feel like it's such a gray area. So morally ambiguous that honestly, it's not the worst thing that McAfee has done. If anything, he should go to jail for possibly uh, hiring a hitman to murder someone for poisoning his dogs. If anything, that's probably what he should go to jail for. Yeah, okay, so the thong as a face mask thing. I think that was in Barcelona. So he wasn't wearing the face mask thong thing when he was arrested for tax evasion. Da, da. How does it feel to be a black white supremacist? Where do people get this shit from? Like, how am I a white supremacist? Are you insane? What's my favorite game? StarCraft 2. SEC revealed it has been brought civil charges against McAfee, claiming he made more than 23.1 million in undisclosed compensation from cryptocurrency recommendation, consultancy, and speaking engagements. OKI is clearly white. Okay, well. the OKI is white but painted himself black. I'm saying it now. What do I think of Black Lives Matter? Uh, I mean, Black lives do matter, of course. That's what I think. Okay, so let's just keep reading this. The shower in my cell is a pipe with a plastic bottle with the bottom cut out, attached to the as the shower head. This is another thing about McAfee. He would have been a great writer in another life too. He is a great writer, and he like really he has such impressive literary ability. Like the way he paints a picture with words. Do I have any opinions politically? I don't know. Like politics, the issue with politics is that I believe that when it comes to politics, you should keep it kind of private. You don't really need to air it out. I don't really want to harp on politics too much, but if anything, I would consider myself pretty left of center. I mean, I'm Canadian, so left of center here is like extremely lefty in America. So yeah, left of center. How do I find my stories? I just kind of read a lot of articles and, I just bookmark anything that's interesting. I like to go on like rabbit holes and just look shit up. And usually I find something interesting. Okay, thank you. Thank you for the $5. I am moving the mic a bit, but the issue is that I don't know that I don't know if you can still see it. Am I wearing no pants? I'm definitely wearing pants. Thank you. I love the Steve Rocco video as well. Am I relieved that McAfee's in jail so he can't hurt me now? McAfee would never like. Why would he come after me? Like, it makes no sense. That's like, I know that's a bit of a meme on this channel, but there's no reason why he would ever come after me. Have I ever thought about doing the Life of Alex Jones series? Yes. Yes, definitely. For some Timmies. Thank you. Thank you. I am wearing socks. Yes. Well, actually, no. I'm just wearing slippers right now. I had to look. Yeah, McAfee. Yeah, the drugs really. Someone mentioned that like a lot of great people. Yeah, they had a hard time and the drugs destroyed their lives. This is the interesting thing about McAfee is he stopped using drugs in his 30s. And like before that, he used a lot of drugs. And then it wasn't until like his mid 70s, or not his mid 70s, like his late 60s, where he started using drugs and smoking cigarettes again when he went to Belize. So it's strange that he would decide to go back to it after such a long time of being sober. And I don't know. I don't know what happened there. Someone said that. Oh, wait. Okay, what race do I play in? Yeah, mostly Terran. In StarCraft 2, I mostly play Terran. Maybe I'll play a little bit of StarCraft 2 on this stream. Who knows? How many people help me with video production? No one. Like, unless sometimes I hire people to do little things, but mostly it's just me. Maybe he was inspired by Breaking Bad. Yeah, maybe. Although Walter White never used drugs, from what I remember watching that series, so. I look like a Zerg boy? Well, I started as playing Zerg, so. Do you play any other games? Yeah, I like Mirror's Edge a lot. That's like probably my second favorite game. That's a game that I can always go back to. Thank you for the $1. Okay, can we chill in December? Dude, that's my friend Scott who just said that. That's like one of my best friends who said that. Yeah, we could chill in December, Scott. You can come over if you want right now. Like, yeah, I like David Lynch. Eraserhead. Yeah. Would I rather be a horse or a dog? Probably a dog, because they don't get turned into glue. Actually, here's a story. Now that we kind of looked at the McAfee stuff and there's not really much else going on here, maybe let's watch this. This is the last video he posted. Let's see this before his arrest. Let's watch this. And then I'm going to take you through a story that I kind of wanted to do, but I'll probably never do on my channel. That's really interesting. So I'll share that with you after I show this one last clip of McAfee.
The deep state is a conspiracy theory of it's defined as the people within the U.S. government and military who are in secret control of government policy. Secret? Please, people. The deep state is those people within the U.S. government that are career employees that cannot be fired by people that we elect, by the Congress or the President. There are the FCC, the CIA.
I think he's right about all of this.
The Securities and Exchange Commission, the IRS. Are these people in control? Can they enact laws? Fuck yes. They're called regulations. For every law that Congress passes, and we elect Congress to pass our laws, there are 20 regulations enacted by federal agencies that have far more impact on our lives than anything Congress can possibly pass. Is there a deep state? Yes. Can we fire these people? No. Can presidents fire them? No. It's designed that way so that political parties and political interests cannot affect the deep state. Do you understand the nightmare of our situation, people? I'm sorry. It's not secret. It's as open as anything could be. In the past, since 1975, 200,000 regulations have been passed by our federal agencies, encompassing 800,000 pages of fine print. People, it is no secret.
The thing about it, too, though, is when he talks about regulation, I know it's the libertarian thing to say all regulation's bad, but then you also have to look at regulations that aid corporate interest and lobbyists and all of that, which I think that those are the regulations I'm more so worried than regulations that impede and I'm not going to say that this exists in America, but what could potentially be unchecked capitalism. So I guess that's a lefty side of me coming out. But otherwise, yeah, he's right.
It is as open as it can be. The deep state does control America. Wake up, people, please. God, use some common fucking sense. Thank you.
I love how he ends it. Thank you. That's like the Southern gentleman in McAfee. McAfee is actually very polite. Even after he freaked out on me, his last thing he said was thank you. If you watch that interview again. Okay, so now that we did McAfee, I'm gonna share with you guys a story that I'm never gonna do on my channel. And just because, for a lot of reasons, there's not enough to it. And also, it's really hard to empathize with the guy. So in Australia, there was this guy who was working on a 5G. I forget. I think it was like a field, or he was just working on 5G towers, and he had his office across from a 5G tower. So from what I know, and from what I've seen, 5G hasn't been totally tested yet, but for what it seems like is that it's probably safe. It just hasn't been implemented enough and tested yet. But this guy said it was making him sick. I'm not a 5G conspiracy theorist. I don't really even know. So this guy, what he did, he said it was making him sick. He was working on it for like 5 years, and in order to take those towers down, he commandeered a tank. I think it was his boss's tank. The boss was working on fixing the tank, like it was a hobby of his boss's. So this guy took the tank and then tried to mow down those 5G towers. So let me look this shit up. When will I be on InfoWars? I don't know. That would be fucking amazing. Hold on. 5G tower. Okay. 5G towers tank. Let's look. Let's find this guy. All right, here. Let's watch this. I think it's only on Facebook. Last time I looked it up. God, Facebook is dog shit.
Is back. Now, The telco insider whose mobile phone tower protest went out of control is back. Now, he drove a tank down city streets, destroying transmitters to highlight what he saw as dangerous tower emissions. Now, of course, he was sent to jail for that, but the former technician hasn't changed his mind about the health effects of mobile phone towers, and he's preparing another protest. But as Laura Sparks reports, this one won't involve a tank.
The message was that how dangerous it was. I wasn't thinking clearly. I made some rash decisions, which I really regret.
But it was out of sheer frustration, wasn't it?
Yes, yeah.
His desperation drove him to extreme measures. John Patterson did the unthinkable. He went on a destructive spree in a tank, and now he's paid dearly for his actions.
I was proved guilty, and I was jailed for my offences.
How dangerous is this office?
It's catastrophic. You wouldn't work here.
We first met John, a former senior telecommunications technical
Carl.
officer with Telstra, more than 2 years ago. Back then, he was waiting to be sentenced, facing a jail term for his tank attack.
I was involved in rolling the technology out. I was very responsible for any safety things that actually happened. So I felt obligated to actually do something about it.
John borrowed his mate's armoured personnel carrier, one of only 2 in the country, and rammed 8 equipment shelters housing transmitters for mobile phone towers.
It disrupts the bioelectric system of your body, which is really your brain, your nervous system, how your muscles talk.
For 20 years, John tested Telstra digital systems. Over the time, he realised the dangers of electromagnetic radiation. When he moved to this Telstra depot in between 2 mobile phone towers, he got violently sick.
It microwaved us. So I got all the test gear out and measured it and drew up a report and showed that it was an occupational hazard to work in that building with that amount of radiation. And I was immediately removed from service.
After taking a voluntary redundancy, John went on to warn every responsible authority.
Everyone said I was technically correct, but no one had the power to stand up on my side. People within the industry, they've just misinformed all of the relevant authorities.
So if the industry knows mobile phones are so dangerous, don't they have a legal duty of care to tell us?
Anyone that realises that it's bad is removed from the industry.
In sheer desperation, John inflicted $6 million worth of damage on the transmitter shelters. He eventually pleaded guilty to malicious damage and served 20 months in jail.
It was terrible. It was a terrible experience. I'd never want to go back to jail. I'll never break the law.
There's about 18,000 mobile phone towers dotted across Australia, and John's not the only one worried. Electrical engineer John Lincoln.
People start losing their regular sleep and they get lethargic.
Australia's top neurosurgeon Charlie Teo.
We're seeing the increase in frequency of tumours in the insular region, which is this region right here, the temporal lobe, the frontal lobe. So it's right there where you hold your phone.
Not safe, not right, not on. And it's not just radiation from mobile phones and towers. Here in Melbourne, residents are worried about a large-scale expansion of this electrical terminal station.
EMF is known to have an association with the incidence of childhood leukemia in a population. So that's electromagnetic fields from high voltage equipment.
The Australian Communications and Media Authority says there is no substantiated evidence on adverse health effects from mobile phone towers or mobile phones. But John says it's the accumulation.
We're in Sydney Basin, there's probably 10 million phones in Sydney Basin. Then there's all the Wi-Fi is used. There's all of the communications, radio, TV, everything.
John's now setting up a business. He's got $500,000 worth of equipment, including this $80,000 Spectrum analyzer, one of only a few in the country. So how much radiation is in here because of that tower?
It's equivalent to thousands of mobile phones being inside the office here.
All ringing at once?
Yes.
So if I was to work in here for 2 years with that mobile phone tower there and that radiation in here, how would it affect me?
Worst case scenario, bowel cancer, liver cancer, lung, heart, brain problems.
His aim to alert people on how to identify immediate effects of radiation, for example, sleeplessness, and then to teach those concerned about how to safeguard their homes and offices.
What you shouldn't have plugged in during night time when you're sleeping, just general occupational health and safety. If you're not getting your sleep, I can show you how to get good night's sleep.
And a Senate committee inquiry has been taking submissions into where mobile phone towers can be located. We'll be hearing more about their findings in May.
So, from what I know about this, if you're afraid of 5G, don't use a microwave. Don't use a cell phone. And don't go out into the sun too much. Because all of those are just as dangerous or even more dangerous. So I don't know. But it's interesting that he used a tank to take those towers down. And that's the most intriguing thing about the whole story to me. Because that's what I look for whenever I make one of these videos, is there has to be some sort of something wacky, surreal, strange, and kind of funny in a way. Just silly. And just the image of a dude taking a tank to take down these towers is just there's something. It's like a comic book, It's like it's like a comic book. Someone mentioned that it's non-ionizing, and that's another thing. That's another thing. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna find. There's more footage of this guy. What was his name again? That was the thing. Let's find his name. More results might come up if we look him up. Yeah, here he is. This is the guy, right? Is this the same? This is what we just watched, right? Yeah, here's the footage, like the breaking news footage of what happened.
John Patterson. Most people, they're big, they're armoured, and they're dangerous. Most people know tanks are a formidable force on the battlefield. John Patterson of Sydney seems to believe they're the perfect way to vent some pent-up frustration at the phone companies. Mr. Patterson took the tank from his former employer in the early hours of Sunday morning and proceeded to knock down mobile phone towers in Sydney's west.
That 4 of our base stations, or 4 of Telstra's base stations, were pretty severely impacted by the tank, and pretty much immediately we our folk on hand to try and make sure services were up and running before the local community woke up the next morning.
This isn't the first time troubled men have turned to tanks to get attention. Since the 90s, there have been a spate of tank joyrides through cities around the world. In 1995, a man in San Diego went a lot further than John Patterson, running over cars, fire hydrants, and anything that got in his way.
Usually people are under ordinary pressures, family pressures, financial pressures, social pressures, those kind of things. But sometimes men, when they are under those pressures, do lose the plot temporarily and act out in a way that is damaging to themselves or other properties. Occasionally, people get it in their head that something like a phone company is putting ideas in their head or trying to control their thoughts, and as a consequence, they act out against those.
So here's another thing that I realized about people who are super anti-5G. Sure, there are the people who are worried about the health consequences, which I'm not sure if they're... Like, I mean, everything has some sort of adverse effect, and we have to weigh how much adverse effects it actually has compared to the benefits of having it. And, I think for a lot of people, faster internet, it's worth something that has very, very marginal effects or probably doesn't have anything at all. But a lot of people are worried about 5G because of it's China that is in charge of setting up a lot of these towers. So I was just reading an article where the European Union is like worried. Well, it's China's what should we do? Should we kind of curb their influence because it could be used for espionage, So I think that's a way more legitimate fear than the pretty much, from what it seems, unfounded health consequences. Maybe something's going to come out. You cannot completely discount it. I don't think it's been even really tested yet. So we don't know for sure. I just think it's also a good idea. Like I've known this for the longest time. You just don't want to live near phone towers, right? Like I think that's common sense for a lot of people. You don't want to also stand in front of a microwave, you know?
Sorts of corporations.
So, if you are feeling angry about your mobile phone, a colleague at work, or just last night's dinner, experts say the solution is in talking, not tanking.
No, don't get the tank. Go see a doctor. Get some help.
The best bet if you have a problem with a phone company is to try and contact the phone company to start with. And if there's any other problems, get in contact with the telecommunications industry ombudsman. I wouldn't be highly recommending people take to tanks in the future.
John Patterson has been charged with predatory driving and malicious damage and is due to appear in court again on September 28th. And as for the phone companies, they would presumably like to say, tanks for nothing.
Okay, here's another one that I kind of... You know what? Since I wrote Q&A in the title, let me answer some questions for 5 minutes, and then I'm going to get into something else that I'm never going to do on my channel. So, let me just answer some questions. Let me go through the chat and see what the questions are. What is the weirdest story from my own life? I went to military school in high school, and yeah, that was pretty strange. Lived in Kenya for a while. Not really that weird, actually. I'm pretty normal. Joe Jorgensen? I don't know. I don't really subscribe to the Libertarian Party, I guess, but you know. Masters. What is my personal and political opinions on hamsters? Well, look, if you read Animal Farm, now imagine that with hamsters, okay? Those things could be devastating. They could take over the farm, okay? All right, no, I had a hamster once. It was called Fuzzy. When I was a kid, I think I was like 8 or something, and it ran away, and my parents told me it ran away, but I'm not so sure. I think it just died, now that I think of it. Because their whole thing was like it escaped into the walls or something. And no, it probably just died. Have I seen a Red Letter Media's video on Roar? Yeah. Yeah, I have. I made mine before them, by the way. Do I know Kenyan, you say? Do you know Obama then? No. Any videos similar to the director who boxes critics coming? I would love to find someone as crazy as Uwe Boll. Like, that would be amazing. If I can find another story like that, that would be cool. Do you even death metal, bro? Honestly, not really. Like, I like death metal, but I'm not like a diehard or anything. Could not possibly call myself a metalhead. Are you a hidden InfoWars supporter? Not a supporter, but I do watch it from time to time because it's hilarious. Do I think that the Unabomber was right? This is my friend Scott asked this. The Unabomber, apparently the Unabomber like predicted a whole bunch of crazy shit. That's what I don't know. Like I haven't read his manifesto, but apparently he kind of hit the nail on some things. Like, that guy was really fucking intelligent. I think at one time he was like, he went to Berkeley, I think, and he was one of the youngest tenured professors of all time there. Like, he was genius. And then he went nuts. I guess that he already had an inclination towards, I think he had schizophrenia or whatever. I don't know. In Kenya, did you find the prince that will give me some money? I want to dispel something about Nigerian princes here. The first person to do the Nigerian prince scam was a 15-year-old American boy who realized that if he could put it... this is actually in a book called The Confidence Game by Maria Kanakova. I think that's how you say her name. And she talks about how the first Nigerian scammer was this 15-year-old American kid who realized that if he put... Okay, let me bring it up, actually, because I have it on Kindle. because I don't want to get wrong and spread misinformation. But he put out an ad in a newspaper, and he realized that with some incentive, that people will just send him shit. I think the first thing he asked for was clothes. Where is it? Here it is. Is that how you... Okay, so let me just read through this so I can get this, find out where it is. Not there. Okay, so here it is. In the early years of the 20th century, newspapers abounded with ads for almost all manners of things: medicines, miracle workers, business deals, lucrative investment opportunities, land and gold investments, riches galore. One day, however, a sort of ad appeared in the pages of several dailies, an appeal from a certain Prince Bill Morrison. The prince was of noble birth and hailed from the far reaches of Nigeria. Okay? All he wanted was some American pen pals. So moving was the wording of the ad that the papers had published his mailing address free of charge. Okay. So where does it talk about how he's a kid? He was a kid. Okay, so after a few letters were sent back and forth to his new friend, Prince Morrison made a simple request. Would his American acquaintances send him a mere $4 and an old pair of pants they no longer needed, in exchange for such a I actually suck at reading out loud. So even when I'm doing my narration, I have to read it a bunch of times and edit it. So anyway, bear with me. In exchange for such a small thing, he would send them vast quantities of ivory, diamonds, and emeralds. To him, they were worthless baubles. I almost fucked that word up. Friendship, however, was priceless. The money and pants poured in. But where were the promised jewels? Okay, so where does it actually say that he's a kid? Okay, so it doesn't say there. So let me just skip to where she talks about it. So she only sets it up there. God damn it. Okay, so here it is. Here's a little synopsis. The story of Matthew Brown derives from news sources along with 2 interviews conducted by the author in 2015 with individuals purporting to know Brown from childhood, but with shady enough backstories that the author suspects them of being Brown himself. On one occasion, hidden behind sunglasses and Skype video, and another... Oh, come on. That doesn't even sound like it. And the Nigerian prince and... Sorry, bear with me here while I try and find it. Anyway, read the book. I'm not gonna look for it forever. But basically in the book it explains that it was a 15-year-old American kid who was the first one to do the Nigerian scam. And also, one of the most prolific Nigerian scammers ended up being an old white guy recently. Like a 60-year-old dude. Like, check this out. I don't know why sometimes it just goes straight to Bing. This dude. This guy apparently is like one of the most prolific Nigerian scammers of all time. Anyway. All right, let me let me go through the questions again. Cuz I kind of got caught up in looking that up. So I'm going to scroll up. How do you stumble upon these weird stories? Basically, you kind of just saw how it happens. Like my ADHD brain, I'll connect something, and then I'll randomly think of something, and then I'll get curious about it. And I'll just kind of go through a rabbit hole. And usually I find something interesting and I bookmark it. Or I just find it on Reddit a lot of the times for some of those videos. I think I found Roar on it was a Reddit post. Yeah, just I see something interesting and I bookmark it. Alex Jones and death metal pairs well together. Yeah, that would be a cool edit. Herzog and Kinski. That would be a really cool video to make. The only issue is that I was just talking to like a friend of mine online who also makes videos, he's planning to do that. So I don't want to scoop that from him. But the Herzog and Kinski stories are wild. Do I speak any other languages besides English? No, I don't. I suck with languages. How do you think Obama Gate is real? I don't think Obama Gate is real. I'm sorry. Yes, someone just brought up that Ted Kaczynski was part of the LSD trials. Yes, he was. He was MK Ultra. A video on Vince McMahon? That might be interesting. I always thought OKI was a nerdy white guy. I was right, LOL. Jeez. I'm gonna tell you some shit, guys. Okay, listen. When I was younger and still a part of me, Black Power movement. Okay, I was really into the Black Panthers. I really was really interested in Huey P. Newton and all of that shit. So, yeah. What do I think of the whole Epstein thing? Yeah, I mean, it's the same as everybody else. He was suicided. What do you think happens when you die? It doesn't matter. I'm a Nigerian prince. I'll triple your money if you send it. Okay, dude, let's, you can DM me. Any idea on doing a mini story series where you just have a few small crazy facts in one video? Actually, here's something that would be funny to share with you guys. This is something that I've been wanting to put in a video for the longest time, but I haven't been able to because I can't find a way to do this. There was this tournament, this darts tournament, where this guy he farted. One of the opponents farted, and it became Fartgate or Dartgate, which is the pun. And it became a whole thing about who actually farted. So after the interview, the guy said, yeah, he threw me off his game because he farted. And it smelled like rotten eggs. Hold on. This is really, really funny. So watch this guy's post-game interview. It's the funniest shit ever.
Gary, what a comfortable win that was, especially in the second session and the third session you rushed away from it.
Yeah, just walked off. You know, struck, it was warm, really warm up there. You know, came off, nipped outside, had my cigarette that I'm supposed to have stopped. But no, get off. It's warm up there, so get off, have a break. Yeah, get your head together, take your time when you come back, and good session.
Just spoke to Wesley, and besides that, he said you were a class player, and you let him alive in the first session. He said that it was smelly on the stage.
I thought he had shit.
Sorry?
I thought Wesley had farted on stage. Did he?
No. Well, I think he thinks you did it.
You can put your finger up the arse, there'll be no smell there. I thought he had shit, and I went, that's dirty. It was bad.
It was bad.
It was bad. It was a stink. I thought it was him. And he started playing better. I went, must have needed to get some wind out.
And he thought it was you.
Oh no, hands up. Swear on my kid's life. So help me God. Nothing crossed.
But it was smelly anyway.
It was smelly. Usually if I fart on stage, I shit myself. And you know that, because I've told you in a documentary. Ain't scared to... If I'd farted that smelled like that, I'd put my hands up and go, oh, sorry, I need to get up.
So who was it then?
Well, don't tell me. You've got our 3 boys up there. So... No, it definitely came... It was table side. And it was eggs. Rotten eggs.
Not from you?
Not from me. No. No.
Okay, thank you.
And every time we walked past, it was a waft of rotten eggs. So that's why I was thinking it was him.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so I had a whole video planned because there's actual footage of this. And I had a whole video planned where I was going through the match frame by frame and trying to figure out, based off of just micro facial expressions, who actually farted. And at what moment did the fart happen? So there were 4 guys on stage, including him. But I think that eventually one of them, and don't quote me on this, I think one of them eventually came out and said that it was me. I'm not sure though. Oh, it's so funny though. It's so funny. Okay, so let me keep going through the comments here. So funny. All right. Some questions here. Someone donated asking, what are your thoughts on McAfee being in jail right now? At the beginning of this stream, actually, I talked about that in depth. So if you want to go back and look, you're more than welcome to. I'm actually going to take this VOD. Excuse me. I'm actually going to take this VOD and I'm going to put it on my second channel. So you can watch it there. But my opinion is that he kind of, like, he made a video pretty much daring the SEC to come after him. And he's like, I don't pay taxes. I haven't in years. And it's just kind of ironic, you know. Am I going to make a video on Danny Casolaro? Maybe. That's interesting. I might. So if people don't know who Danny Casolaro is, he's this guy who was... There was this... He was an investigative journalist who was looking into this pretty much a giant conspiracy involving very powerful people, which he said that it was just spread all amongst, like, you know, just so many institutions. And then he randomly died in very, very suspicious ways. So Danny Casolaro is interesting. Michael Hastings is really interesting, is another journalist who randomly died after he said, I have some shit on the CIA, and then all of a sudden he gets into this weird, crazy car crash. So I might do something on either one of those guys. Am I planning on covering QAnon? QAnon is dumb. I'm sorry. It's really dumb. Who is John of God and his connections to Oprah? I don't know what that is. John of God. Someone asked me that. What is that? Trying to copy and paste this. But YouTube's being retarded. So hold on. Son of God. Who is this guy? Oh, he's like a cult leader. Oprah? Oh, did she get roped into thinking that he was legit? Oh, that's funny. That's so funny. I mean, it's sad, obviously, but it's just like funny how they don't actually vet what they're looking into sometimes. Yeah. I don't know if there's enough there to make a video about it, but that's interesting. Thanks for sharing it with me. Spirit science? Have I thought about covering spirit science? Spirit science is hilarious. Spirit science is so funny. I don't know, maybe. That is a funny YouTube channel. If you guys don't know what spirit science is, let's watch one of their videos. It's just all of this weird pseudo-intellectual, pseudo-spiritual nonsense. And apparently it's just like fucking like very culty. Let's just like look up, sort by one of their most popular videos. Let's just like watch some of this for a second.
Discoveries that are rocking the foundation of what we think we know about ourselves. Many ancient cities such as Babylon, Erech, and Akkad that were written about in the Bible and other ancient texts were always thought to be myths because no one could prove they existed. Then, one of them was found. This led to finding another, and then another. Inside one of these cities, archaeologists found thousands of cylindrical clay tablets hidden deep within the earth under this ancient city. The tablets were completely covered in text, written in cuneiform, and tell an ancient story that spans back over hundreds of thousands of years on this planet, describing the history of the earth and the origins of the human race in great detail. Now, the first thing we all want to do is just say that they were making things up. They didn't know the history of Earth, and they were simply creating tales to explain where they came from. However, if this was true, how can we explain how they knew so many things about the universe that would seem impossible to know? Not only did the Dogon...
But pretty much this guy is just, I don't know, it seems like he's full of shit. I can almost guarantee it. I haven't looked into him too much, but I've seen videos where he says some of the wackiest shit. So, and apparently there's a lot on him. Maybe someone could enlighten me a bit more. Am I going to do a video on Nixium? Nixium? That would be demonetized in a second. But that's interesting. You know what? A really interesting thing about Nixium is when I was looking up, when I had the whole thing with Dan Ninen where he was taking down my videos, and I was interested in copyright and how it works, I realized that the guy, the Nixium cult leader, he was just like taking down so many videos of this one journalist. This journalist is actually the guy who kind of broke the story and really fucked with that cult for the longest time. And before that, before he was like an independent journalist just blogging about this guy and going after him, he was like their bag man. He was like their PR bag man, and he just had so many different categories, and they just relied on him to just fuck with people who fuck with the cult, basically. Someone sent you an email. Check it out if you can. Ignore the poor sentence structure. I'm in a work meeting right now. Okay. I'll check the email for sure. I will. Just not now, all right? But I'll check it later. Do I have a Discord? No, and I don't really want to set it up because Discord is a cesspool, right? Like Discord servers always just go to shit from what I hear. Doesn't researching these videos severely mess with your recommendation algorithm on YouTube? Yes, but it shows me a lot of interesting shit as well. By the way, everybody whose comment isn't showing up, I have no moderation. YouTube, if you swear in YouTube comments or if you swear in chat, YouTube immediately blocks that. I think a video on Epstein, By the way, the guy who asked that, we talked one time before on a podcast. Cool guy. A video on Epstein would be interesting, but I don't know if I can add anything to that story that hasn't been said a million times. So I don't know if I would do that. See, even some guy just said big man, big ting. And for some reason, it says message is held for review. So I'm going to show it now. And boom, it just came up. YouTube is weird. I don't know why it does that. Do I watch anime? I used to watch a lot of anime, but not for a long time. Would you do a video on the evidence that Vagrant Holiday and Surveillance Cameraman are the same guy? That's interesting. I really want to do a video on Vagrant Holiday because that is probably my favorite channel on YouTube right now. The guy, he posts even less than I do. But whenever he posts, his videos are spectacular. He just goes, he travels, and throughout the whole thing, he just breaks petty vagrancy laws. So he goes to Europe with only $1,000. I think he has a budget of $1,000, and that includes his plane ticket. So he basically spends no money because he sleeps in the bush the whole time. He sleeps in the bush with a bivvy and a sleeping bag. And he'll just break into places. He'll cut lines. I mean, it's kind of dickish moves, but at the same time, it's hilarious in a way how he does it. And he's really snarky and funny. And there's a lot of evidence that he's also the surveillance cameraman, which I know some people have problems with that guy as well, and they call it harassment. But I love those videos. I think they're amazing. So I might do a video on that. Wait, how did you... My favorites playlist? I don't even know that that's... I didn't even know that's available. I probably have some pretty embarrassing things in there. Oh shit, I shouldn't have even said that. Look at me. God. Okay, now someone's gonna find something. Hold on, quickly, before anybody finds anything. Let me see. What do you mean my favorites playlist? This is not available. What are you talking about? You kind of freaked me out there for a second. Oh, Frog the Leak King. Yeah, that's my buddy Frog. That's when I was doing those Super Smash Bros. Videos. He was like, he was really good at Super Smash Bros. He played at those tournaments. And if you guys are Smash fans, at the end of those two videos, if you go to my old videos playlist, you'll actually see Mango and you'll see Mewtwo King. Because I go up to them with a camera and I ask, do you know who Frog is? Who's my friend? And both of them say no. Someone keeps asking me what my favorite Fishman's album is. For some reason, off the top of my head, I can't remember the names of the albums right now. But whatever the one that I always use that one track on, that's probably my favorite. That's the one I usually revisit. You do weird stories, but which one do you like best? Historical, scientific, cultural, sports? I'm a total nerd, I guess, so not really sports, but everything else there. Yeah, sometimes I watch videos like that, but mostly I watch a lot of stupid shit, basically. Have I heard of King Cobra JFS? I think so. I think DakeNet did a video about him. The streamer? Is that who you're talking about? Where does the OKI commercial come from? Why do you use it as my intro? I found that in a compilation of Japanese commercials. I thought it was awesome. I put it in the beginning of my video, and it stuck. Will I do weekly Patreon streams? No, Scott, I won't. I'm too lazy. Do I own any Bitcoin? No, I don't. I should, but I don't. Or not Bitcoin or crypto. Yeah, none. Do you know about Isaac Cappy? No, I don't know who that is. I'm gonna look him up though. That's interesting. What does OKI stand for? Nothing. It's just Oki's Weird Stories. Yes, Scott, we'll do a podcast for sure. Let's do it. Wait, so this guy is fuck, I know this guy. Isn't this guy? This guy was like a Pizzagate. Like he talked about like he got molested as a child. He came out and talked about it. I saw him in a Mouthy Buddha video. Right? Is this the same guy I'm talking about? Yeah, that was strange. Those Mouthy Buddha videos, man. Holy shit. Would you look into Jared Leto's cult or Little B? I might make a video about Little B, but yeah, any cult, anything to do with like... Well, actually, Jared Leto is not, yeah. But anything to do... This is what I stay away from on my channel. Anything to do with like sexual abuse, rape, anything to do with like murder... Pretty much anything that breaks YouTube's extremely stringent and stupid guidelines, I try and stay away from. Drugs I can't even talk about, you know. And it's not only about the money, it's also that YouTube will block it. So they'll deprioritize it, or like part 1 in my John McAfee series. Now it's age restricted. So you have to sign in to watch that. And it was age restricted like a year and a half after I posted it. So it's really stupid. It's a really stupid system. Because there's so many things that I find interesting that I would like to talk about. But I want people to be able to see it. I don't want people to have to sign in. I don't want people, you know, to not be able to find it. That's kind of... Do I have a Patreon? Yeah. You can find it on my channel in the top right-hand corner. This couple was in Adamoffin? Which couple? My atrazine video at first was it was limited, but then it was fine. When am I gonna cover Clonade? I decided not to do that, but check out Anomaly Docs. Anomaly Documentaries, which you can find on YouTube. He did a video about Clonade. He's a friend of mine. What do you think about Jim Watkins being Q? Dude, that was so funny when that guy... Look at this guy's face. This is a guy who apparently is the Q guy. Oh, God. And it's so obvious, too. Like, when you just look at this guy's face, it's like, well, no shit, this guy's the QAnon guy. No shit, this is Q. Lake City Quiet Pills. Yeah, Barely Sociable did that. I just try and stay away from shit that other people have done before, especially if I have nothing to add to it. Have I considered using Nebula? Probably not. I don't know. I just want to... Oh, the Hannah Trash? Oh, let me finish my thought before I talk about Hannah Trash. Nebula, the issue with all of those other platforms is it doesn't have the same audience, and I want my videos to be seen. So, you know, so you just got to play by the rules right now. Yeah, Hannah Trash, there's another video about that that's really good. There's a couple really good videos about that. So, I'm not going to cover it because it's really interesting. Do I remember the Alamo? Yeah, I was part of it. What do you mean, do I remember the Alamo? I didn't fire shots at Nebula, dude. I'm just saying. Nothing has the same audience as YouTube. That's just a fact. What's my work? Right now I'm just doing this. This is trying to build this. Someone asked me, why are you black? Well, you know, because God blessed me. Vimeo is not, doesn't have the same. You always pictured me as Asian? Oh, well, I guess so. I don't know. What is 9/11? I don't know. I don't know about 9/11. Who knows? Who knows? Am I Somali? Yes. Okay. All right, here's what we're going to do, guys. I'm getting a little bit tired. I want to also get some lunch. I might come back, but first, what I'm going to do is, because we were talking about StarCraft 2 earlier, I'll play one game of StarCraft 2. All right? I know that might be somewhat boring or something, but that is my favorite game of all time. So I'm going to play one game of StarCraft 2, and then I'm going to log off. Okay? So, give me a sec here. Let me close all this shit. I'm gonna play Terran. Someone mentioned Porcelain. Yeah, I've been watching a lot of Porcelain. I watched a lot of his stuff way back, but I was just recently I've been binge watched all of his stuff again. They used to like ONA a lot as well. All right, I'm gonna play unranked because fuck it. I don't know where Porcelain went. I think he quit. TVT.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
SCV ready.
Not enough minerals.
Yep.
Not enough minerals.
SCV ready. Bad news? What's going on? Go ahead.
Additional.
Can't build here. SCV ready. What's going on? Huh? SCV ready. Go ahead. Big job, huh? SCV ready.
Insufficient Vespene gas. Insufficient Vespene gas. Not enough minerals.
Go ahead.
Command center upgrade complete.
I can't build here. You're the boss.
I'm gonna go map.
SCV ready. Go ahead. Cat from above. I'm listening. Fear the reap. Got something for me to kill.
Add-on.
SCV ready. What's going on? Huh? SCV ready. Bad news. SCV ready.
Command center upgrade. Insufficient Vespene gas. Insufficient Vespene gas.
SCV ready. Good job, huh? Ben? Ah! You scared? Fear the Reaper, man. SCV ready.
Not enough minerals.
Uh-huh. Speak up! SCV ready. Go ahead.
Ah, I made too many supply depots. Fuck.
SCV ready. SCV ready. Ready to blunder. Transformation system ready. SCV ready.
Oh, fuck.
SCV ready. Your bag. Can't hold them alone. SCV ready. Huh? You gonna get
Insufficient Vespene gas. Base is under attack.
Is he still there?
Yes!
Ah, you motherfucker!
Base is under attack.
Ready to plunder.
Insufficient Vespene gas.
This is a mess.
What's going on? Give us something. Go ahead. I'm going. Transformation system.
Insufficient Vespene gas.
Fight or flight? Yeah, right. Gateway, coming.
Ah, you motherfucker.
SCV ready.
Where's my command center?
Can't hold them alone. What's up? Let's get into the fight. Go, go, go. In the rear. What's going on? Bad news?
Insufficient Vespene gas.
Lay it on me. Transformation systems primed. Inbound.
I'm inbound!